Hi, I'm Nina from Kent Wildlife Trust, and we're here at Folkestone Lower Leas today doing some rock pooling with lots of families, and we're hoping to teach families how to rock pool without having a negative impact on some of the wildlife that we're hoping to see today as well. So there's some tips for when you're rock pooling to make sure that you keep the animals and the plants that you find happy while you're doing so. So first of all, when you're looking for animals, take a bucket with you and make sure you fill your bucket with lots of salt water, not fresh water, because the animals that you might find, they need the water to be able to breathe. So we fill our bucket halfway to the top. And then when you're looking for animals, you might find that they're not just sitting out on the rock pools, they're probably hiding from the sun and from predators like seagulls. So they're going to be under seaweed, under rocks. So if you're lifting things like seaweed or rocks up to have a look underneath, make sure you do so really gently. And then when you finish looking underneath, make sure you put the rocks back, because that is an animal's habitat or its home. So when you're looking for things, if you need to pick an animal up, first of all, make sure you do so very gently. So it's good to use a sieve if you can do that. We try and use that gently. Let animals like prawns or shrimp or crabs crawl into your net rather than trying to scoop them up in case you hurt them. Try not to prize any animals off the rock. So there'll be lots of shell animals like limpets and like mussels that will be stuck onto the rock. And it's really important not to try and get them off, because they might not be able to attach themselves back and they might well die. So once you put your animal in your tub, you might want to put some loose seaweed or maybe some shingle or some sand in with the animal so that it can shelter away. And make sure you don't leave your animal out in the sunshine for too long if you're looking at it, because it might get quite hot. The water temperature might start to rise, or it might even run out of oxygen. Make sure you don't put too many animals in one bucket, because things like lots of crabs in one bucket, that's going to cause them to fight. Some of the animals that we might find in the rock pools are carnivores, and they might try to eat each other. So we try and say only one animal in a bucket at a time. When you've had a look, make sure you try and return them to the rock pool where you found them, and you can let them go back under the rock so that they can hide themselves away. It's good to take an identification sheet with you so that you can try and work out what the animals that you find are. Just when you're looking for rock pool animals, just make sure you're really safe. Make sure you've checked what the tides are doing so you don't get caught out by the tide. Wear shoes or even beach shoes to make sure that you don't cut your feet, and try not to run on the rocks because they will be really slippery, and make sure you have lots of fun at the same time.